Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? This is Force. It is Sunday, and I thought it would be a good day to do a Q&A. It's been, I think, over a year since I've done anything like this, and I wanted to do a video today, and I thought, well, people always ask a bunch of questions, and I'm always repeating over and over again. And as much as I love answering the same questions in every other video and every other tweet, why don't we consolidate some of that and just get it all out in one video? Plus, I thought it'd be a nice, we can just relax here. I've got myself some green tea and honey. It's good for the throat. We could just relax and, I don't know, hang out. Everything, so much of my channel is so damn serious all the time. It's not fun. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about some stuff. Let's answer some questions. If we do any of these in the future, like if Sunday Q&A becomes a thing, I'm going to be asking on Twitter the day of for your questions. So you can send me a message at Force Strategy on Twitter. So we're going to do a sort of a mix. I'll be answering questions about gaming and not gaming stuff. So feel free to ask whatever you feel like. Our first question here comes from Alan Diamond, who asks, whatever happened to your fitness vlog you were going to do? So this is the Healthy Gamers channel, which I think at this point is probably like 2 years old or something. And I initially started it one summer as it was kind of selfish, actually. I wanted to have some sort of motivation to get back to the gym and start doing stuff again. So I said, well, if I hold myself accountable to having to put up like a video once a week or every other day or whatever, then I'll stay motivated and I'll be going to the gym, and at the same time I can make content on YouTube and it could be fun. Yeah, that didn't happen. I basically just didn't do anything. I stayed, just playing games, sitting on the computer and not going to the gym. And as a result, the channel just sort of fell by the wayside because I can't do a channel about being healthy if I myself am not doing anything pertaining to being healthy. It's something that I've been incorporating more and more into my lifestyle within the past year. I've been starting to go to the gym more regularly. I've been eating better. I'd say it's a possibility that channel comes back in some capacity in the future. I wouldn't hang my hat on it, but maybe Healthy Gamers. It's a neat idea. It's a neat idea. You can level up yourself and gain agility points when you go for a run. You gain endurance points when you do endurance stuff. You gain strength when you go weightlifting. I'm pretty sure there's stuff like that already exists, but the whole idea of like attaching RPG characteristics to physical real life enhancement, that's kind of a neat idea. So maybe, not sure. We'll see. Question from Thomas Irvin, who says, how do you manage playing a lot of video games and doing other things with your life? That's a funny question because I manage it by not managing it. I'm really bad at time management and doing things besides playing games and making YouTube videos. That's actually like a personal flaw of mine that I desperately need to work on. Like really bad. This goes back to the whole thing about me like not going back to the gym and trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle. It's just because I suck at time management. It's funny because when I first started doing YouTube, when I first started in the StarCraft 2 days, I was actually really big into weightlifting back then. And it was the summer of 2010, I believe, when I started up the channel. And so when I started and I realized, whoa, I can make money off of this. Whoa, I can do this as a full-time career. This is awesome. One of the things I said to myself in my head was, I can go to the gym whenever I want. I don't have to work around a schedule at the bar. I don't have to work around the schedule from an office. I don't have to work around class schedules. Like I can just, whenever I feel like, I can go to the gym. I'm gonna have an amazing, healthy lifestyle, doing something I love, making videos and playing games. It just didn't happen. I just got so enveloped in the video creation process and, spending times on these games. And it's been like 5 years now, 4 years, summer 2010 till now. And my time management still sucks. It's just really funny that I started this venture by thinking this will be amazing for me to be able to make my own schedule and do what I want. 4 years later, truth is that me doing stuff that I want is actually worse now than it was when I was going by someone else's schedule working another job. It doesn't make any sense, but I feel like if you ask a lot of YouTubers or Twitch streamers or people who do things like I do, they'll probably tell you about the same thing. Working for yourself is sometimes worse than working for other people when it comes to doing stuff that you want that's not working. How is that even It's stupid. I'm an idiot. Yeah, trust me, I know. It sounds idiotic. It shouldn't be a problem, but it is for some reason. Here's a games-related question. With the problems WildStar and ArcheAge are having, what do you see in the immediate future for full-featured MMOs? Well, interestingly enough, there's really not a ton for MMOs on the horizon right now, is there? Like, we don't really have a lot. There's a whole bunch of the Kickstarter projects that are still coming around. Was it Pillars of Eternity and Shroud of the Avatar? And there's things like that. But big AAA MMOs, there's the Warhammer game, but that's not really an MMO in like the traditional sense. It's more like a planet-side smash with Warhammer Space Marine. So the future for MMOs, at least here in the West, is pretty bleak. I know there's a bunch of stuff coming out in the East, like Black Desert Online, and what's that, Black Gold, and there's stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm always looking forward to the next sort of big adventure, exploring a brand new world. And for its faults, I enjoyed ESO still because it was a new world to explore. I wish the combat was a little bit better and the game had issues beyond that. But, you know, I liked it because I could explore all of Tamriel, and it was a new big RPG for me to sort of jump into. And I thought ArcheAge was a blast. I played it all throughout the alpha and into the beta a little bit, and I got to max level, and I did the grinding for endgame gear. I think the biggest thing that happened at launch is, well, first of all, I was playing other games at the time, but then I know there's a lot of people who were just disappointed because the whole free-to-play aspect really sort of ruined the game for a lot of people. So I don't know, the future of MMOs, I wouldn't, and WildStar as well. I thought WildStar was a fun game to play. I guess it just turns out not as many people were really into that hardcore as maybe they thought they were. I know that, you know, I wasn't, because I had other games that I also wanted to play, and having to devote so much time to a single game just really wasn't in the cards for me, at least not after the first month or so. So I don't know, I hope, I'm always looking forward to the next big MMO adventure, the next world to explore, and as long as that also comes with solid gameplay, I think that's a very important thing, and I think WildStar nailed that. The gameplay for ArcheAge, it was tab target, but it was still well put together. I guess the answer to that question is I don't know. I just hope it's coming out in the next 2 to 3 years, and I hope we get a good MMORPG sometime soon. God, because Titan's not happening anymore. That's shit. I think we're screwed. I think MMORPG fans are screwed. Question from King Palesu asks, what did you do before YouTube? A bunch of things. I was a student at the University of New Hampshire, initially going for business, and then that changed into biology when I decided I didn't want to work in an office, and biology was just something that I enjoyed studying. I got partway through that degree until I was unable to afford it. I ran out of student loans, and applying for new loans wasn't working for me, so I went to working full-time. I was a full-time bartender. I'd worked in an office at Fidelity, an investment firm, working with 401ks and retirement plans and stuff like that. But what I did a majority of the time was bartending, and I really did enjoy that career. But, you know, the whole YouTube thing came around, and when I realized that this was something that I could potentially do for a living, I jumped right on it. And speaking of that, we actually have a question from Hex Star Dragon, who asks, how did you make the decision to do this for a living, and at what point were you able to see it as a financially viable? It actually was shortly after I began. So I started off doing the StarCraft 2 strategy videos in the summer, working into the fall of 2010. And about a month into doing that, the channel sort of took off on those videos, and I got a contract from Machinima, was actually my initial MCN. So I got a contract from Machinima, and I realized shortly into that I was making as much, if not more, even at the start, than I was working as a bartender, which, you know, I made pretty good money at bartending. I chatted people up, and I had some regulars, and, you know, I was able to be good friends and stuff or whatever with my bar patrons, and you know, you can make good money bartending, especially for me. I worked in a coastal town, which, you know, there's a lot of tourists and stuff like that, so it was really good. But I realized that I was making as much or more in its infancy, and then during that winter after I started, I said I'm gonna just go full time and see if I can completely supplement my income, and I did. And you know, there's been ups and downs over the years, but it's been a steady growth since the start. And, you know, things just continuously get better. My average views go up over the years. There's been spikes with things like Diablo 3 was insane. My average views like went up tenfold basically for the period of a month. That was crazy. But overall, it's been a steady growth. So I'm completely happy with the way things are going. The views go up and subsequently so does the income. So it's kind of crazy, to be honest with you. I'm constantly in awe pretty much every month. Again, there are ups and downs, but overall it's steady growth. And I'm always surprised, and I take a step back to say this is really, it's really kind of an amazing thing, and I'm incredibly fortunate to be able to do what I do. But yeah, to answer your question, it was just a couple months into my channel. I got lucky and had some explosive growth at the start, and then it's been pretty much steady growth since that point. And let's get one more question in today. This one from Silent Salmon, who asks, are there any genres, themes, gameplay mechanics that you don't enjoy but did, and can ascribe that to simply getting older? I don't know if I would say I don't enjoy this that I used to, but I would say that my taste has changed over the years, and I found that it's probably attributed to my age, at least in some sense. When I was a teenager into like my early 20s, I was super into the competitive PvP aspect of any game. The Halo 1, 2, and 3, I was really into the multiplayer. The early Call of Duties, I was really into the competitive, when matchmaking and stuff was implemented. I was really into all of that. And then in World of Warcraft, if you don't know, I have extensive history with it. I'm just coming back for Warlords of Draenor now, but I played from vanilla 5 years up through Wrath of the Lich King, and basically that entire period, my sole focus was really PvP. I got Gladiator several seasons, one season on a Warrior, one season on a Warlock, and I was just all about Battlegrounds, Arena, and again, like I said, any competitive shooters that I played. I was 100% full bore about that, and on the same token, I always ruffled and pointed fingers and made fun of anyone who was into story and like role playing and stuff. But I found that as I've got older, I've learned to, I guess, appreciate those aspects of games more, especially when it's well done. In a game like Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, in a game like The Last of Us, really diving into the stories, taking the time to get immersed in the world and enjoying all that stuff is something that I would have never done. Never when I was younger. I would have just been like ruffle, RP, scrub. That was me. I said those things on a regular basis, and I was just all about poning noobs. And I still enjoy poning noobs, but I think I've definitely, my taste have grown a little bit more to appreciate those things that I would have never appreciated in the past. And I think that's going to do it for today's Q&A, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I don't know if this will become a regular thing. I think at the very least we'll try it again next Sunday. So I will send out a tweet when I'm looking for questions. You can follow me on Twitter. Shameless plug. And you can follow me on Twitter if you have questions that you'd like answered in this Q&A. Obviously, it's going to be short questions, but I think that makes it better. I don't want to be answering pages worth of questions. just stupid. All right, thanks for coming out, guys. Hope you enjoyed Sunday Q&A with Force. I'll see you tomorrow. Does it feels weird to... It feels weird in a live video to say keep watching and keep owning, but I've been doing it for 4 years, so keep watching and keep owning. See you guys later.